Now, you could be somebody who has all those tattoos and none of that applies, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, like, people are going to make those sort of snap judgments. Like, if I see somebody with a spiderweb tattoo on their fucking elbow, I'm like, drugs, prison. I'm sorry, am I wrong?
That was the belief.
Am I wrong?
One back in the day.
No, but
tattoo was a jail tat. But now into say,
but am I wrong?
Society,
somebody who has the elbow tattoo with the spider web, drugs or jail? And if it's a guy, probably both.
Or some people just trying to fit in now because how it is.
But if it's a chick, probably drugs. And I've been, pattern recognition. I've been correct on that.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, whatever. Q, you have something I need to get up for a sec.
Yeah, I think the panel is interesting tonight, but we got a couple psych majors and
a lot.
Yeah. So are any of you familiar with the concept of assortative mating?
Yeah.
Okay, so your dating reality probably reflects what y'all value and how y'all are.
Absolutely.
So when y'all say something is common, it's not that common. I mean, do y'all consider yourselves the average woman with the way that y'all behave and carry yourselves, or the circles that you roll in? So you probably, like, your preference, would you say the cowboy with the face tats? Like, how many guys?
I honestly, to be honest, so yeah, I am attracted to dudes with tattoos and stuff like that, but I have dated people that necessarily weren't the most attractive, but I found them mentally attractive. Like, I could see someone that's hot as fuck, but if I don't find them mentally attractive, I don't like them. Like, I actually judge the person based on who they are.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I mean, that's fine. I can relate to that too. But I'm just I'm just curious when y'all say, like, oh, this is prevalent, this is common, or I know people like this. Don't you think that's more reflective of just the circles y'all ride in, as opposed to like
which is why I'm getting out of the circle.
Yeah, you was talking about how much you hate girls with tattoos.
I don't hate women with tattoos.
We wear a trauma on our sleeve.
A little bit. I mean, that's just.
I mean, he's
sleeves
correct.
and guys are hot
colors because we're toxic.
Sleeves, guys with sleeves are hot, especially if they're like real fit and they go to the gym. That's real hot. You need to get that. You need to get that.
Like, tattoos tend to be a more masculine thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there are like tattoos that can be cutie or more girly, but I think the thing is, like, I think for women, I don't think all women are attracted to tattoos or men who have tattoos, but I think there's a large cohort of women who will view tattoos on men and it'll make them more attractive or more masculine.
Right.
That'll be the impression. Maybe not even more attractive, but it will make them more masculine. And whether a woman likes that or not, I'm unsure, but when it comes to tattoos on women, the assessment is kind of the same, but not in the terms of attractiveness. They think tattoos make women more masculine. So they make men more masculine and they make women more masculine. And so typically men are not attracted to masculinity in women. So if a tattoo masculinizes women, that's can very well make her less attractive to a man. Realistically, I would say that tattoos on a woman, I think for most men, it's going to be neutral or it's going to be a negative. Like most men, now there are men like who are parts of certain subcultures, or maybe they're heavily tattooed themselves, or they're actually using it as a pattern recognition to perhaps make a determination if I can manipulate this woman. I don't know if that's necessarily always the case. Well, it certainly isn't always the case, but I think, or they could be like, okay, she's more promiscuous. Like, and I think it'd be a fair assessment to say, like, a woman who's more heavily tattooed
is more promiscuous,
is likely to be more promiscuous. Whether that's
no, it's true. It's a correlation.
Well, I do think there's a correlation because I don't think there's a lot of like if you had to bet, the whole panel, if a woman had neck tattoos, do you think she's a virgin?
No.
Right. No. So I think. Sorry. She's got neck tattoos. Fuck, I forgot about that.
I was like.
But she's also free spirited.
Yeah.
So
and I will not say.
Yeah, probably a correlation.
Correlation, not causation. Hey.
But
yeah, right.
No, if I see a woman who's like heavily, it doesn't even have to be neck or head tattoos. She's got like full sleeves, and I'm like, she's not a virgin, Yeah. So, I mean, I can look at a woman without tattoos and be like, she's not a virgin.
Wait, so you are attracted to that or no?
What do you mean?
If she had like a ton of tattoos, you wouldn't find that attractive, really?
It depends.
Yeah.
It really depends, because there are some tattoos which I think are more aesthetically pleasing. It's the location, it's the design. Although, if I'm just being completely honest, so tattoos are not a deal breaker, but for me, it's strictly neutral or negative. So if you have a tattoo on you, it's never a positive. It's only neutral.
I agree. I feel the same way.
It's only neutral for me.
Same way.
I think part of that stems from self-respect. And when you have a certain degree of self-respect for yourself, you kind of have a stronger resilience and strength to say no to certain things, because you're not acting out of instant gratification. You're not acting out of excitement or just like on a whim, I'm going to do this. And so I think that also shows men that there's a level of self-restraint when it comes to that woman if she maybe has less tattoos. Just like a different perspective.
There can definitely be deeper components there, like you just said. And
like psychologically, sometimes I think, as you said, pattern recognition is a big thing, but sometimes I think that psychologically the brain can do the domino effect for you in a sense. Say to yourself, well, what kind of tattoo is this? Where'd you get it? What led you to get this decision? How quick did you make that decision?
Right.
And what other decisions do you make in that way?
like impulse control.
Yeah,
type
it's
stuff.
Immediate gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Impulse
So
control.
no, that's definitely a really good point on that. We have to, let me think here. But just to be clear, tattoos are not a deal breaker. Like I have and would date a girl who has tattoos, but neutral or can be a negative.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
I feel like, so historically, in lots of tribes, they also have markings or tattoos that are made for fighting, protection, and these are markings to help people identify each other. There's like that news reporter with the
Maori,
Maoan,
the New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, people who belong to that culture, like, it's probably going to be looked at and viewed a different way because there's a cultural basis. But like a girl who has like a chandelier sternum tattoo who's like white, what tribe is she in?
Different.
Well, what kind of, I don't know. So your question is like, if I was dating like a Native American, I don't know, are tattoos as common among like Native Americans as they are in like Brazilian Latin American tribes, or like in like the Maori in New Zealand, for example? If I was dating a woman who's a Maori, although to be honest, they typically have face tattoos, which while I like culturally would respect, I don't personally find
that attractive.
Like they have like they put it on their cheek, and I find that, at least in my own taste, aesthetically like not really appealing. But if she had like a Maori sleeve or something, or like Polynesian sleeve, I would probably interpret that specific tattoo a little bit differently versus somebody who has like like a white girl who has like traditional American tattoo. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like all the little stamp pieces or whatever on her forearm. I'd probably interpret it a little bit differently. Truth be told, I'm not running into like a lot of Native Americans or Maori women when I'm dating, but sure. In that circumstance, I'd probably interpret it a little differently, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you said like negative or neutral, so more neutral.
Oh, it would still be neutral.
Yeah,
like it still wouldn't be positive for me.
That's fair.
But it would just be neutral.
I'd have questions.
You have?
I'd have questions.
Oh, questions.
Like even if I was dating like a Maori woman or anybody tribal from a different culture, I would just want to understand like what's the significance of those markings and why they have them.
Right.
And then of course through explanation, I could probably be like, oh, okay, yeah. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Would you date Amber Rose?
No.
Okay.